Hello everyone, Neorashi here. Um, yep. So, um, since it's Pride Month, I wanted to do a my story with uh, from for a Yuri series, and I decided to do something a little different because so far this is my fifth episode of my story with. And each time it has always been about a manga, for the most part. This time, however, it's going to be about a light novel. And the light novel, although it has a manga version, two manga, um, I, it's really the light novel that got me into the series. Well, the light novel and the anime. The manga, I got into it much later. And that series is Adachi and Shimamura. Um, I can't say I have such a big history with this series, at least not on a personal level. I have a bigger story with some of its community, which I am part of. I'm actually a moderator as of when I'm recording this. At least I'm a moderator in the Adachi and Shimamura Discord server. Uh, I've been a moderator for a couple of months now, though I have been like a channel moderator for almost 3 years before that. Um, Strangely enough, um, I got somewhat exposed, if we can say, to Adachi and Shimamura before I even got into either Yuri or light novel. Um, the reason is, um, when I was made aware of that series, the existence of that series, was when I was like exploring Funimation back in, I think, early October 2020. I got into Yuri in November 2020, but back in October 2020, um, I was suggested Adachi and Shimamura, even though I had never looked for Yuri. I was not at the time interested in Yuri, but it was in Funimation suggestion. I didn't even like read the synopsis, so I didn't even know it was Yuri. I just saw two girls on the cover, and being someone who read other story featuring like cute girls and cute thing at the time, um, I thought it was just another cute girl doing cute things series. So I just put it in my want to watch series, and then nothing came of it for a good month and a half. Uh, After that month and a half, this is when I got into Yuri. Um, I bought my first Yuri manga, which was Frag Time, and not long after, I binge watched Citrus, which was my first Yuri anime. So I went to Discord. I don't remember if it was r slash manga or r slash any of the Yuri related subreddit. But I do remember, um, I do remember asking for a Yuri anime, preferably on the cute side, and um, that's when suggested me Adachi and Shimamura. So that's in late November 2020. At the time, there was, I think, 8 or 9 episodes. It might have been early December 2020, because yeah, there were 9 episodes out at the moment. So I looked for Dachin Shimamura and realized, oh, I forgot that I put it in my want to watch series. So I watched in pretty rapid succession. I think it took me like 2 or 3 days. Um, I watched the first 9 episodes, and I joined the Adachi and Shimamura subreddit, which led me to the Adachi and Shimamura um, Discord server. And from there, that's when I finally decided to get the light novel. I got the first 2 volumes at my usual manga store, and it took me a while to get the 3rd volume, but I ordered it from Indigo, basically Canadian's version of Barnes and Nobles. And so yeah, so I watched the first 9 episodes. Um, I liked it. It wasn't. I think I at the time I think I liked Citrus more, but I did enjoy it enough. So when I got uh, the light novel, I was excited to read it, and also I have to mention that Adachi and Shimamura is actually the first Japanese light novel I ever read or have ever been interested in. So any series that I started with the light novel instead of the manga or the anime is thanks to this. Even if they're not Yuri, like Igehiro is a series that I started with the light novel. I haven't even watched the anime yet. I've only read I read the light novel in full and the first 5 or 6 volumes of the manga. Even for that series, I have this to thank because of because this is the series that got me to light novel. So for a couple of months, I discussed either on Discord or Reddit about the series, how I, as someone who had only watched the anime, how the character would interact. I was spoiled about which volume the 2 girls starts dating, so I knew that the spoiler alert. I knew that the anime was not going to reach the point where they start. So I was like, I was suggesting, well, not suggesting, but I was predicting. My prediction ended up wrong. I was predicting that they would either rush the story or like change the story so that they start dating by the end of the series. But I ended up being quite wrong. Then in February 2021, one of the admin of the Adachi and Shimamura Discord server reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in being part of a reading club. I was like, sure, I'm in. I'd be interested because at that point when he reached out to me, I read the first 3 volumes and I was just about to get the 4th, so I was definitely interested in it. And some days or some weeks later, he had gathered a team and we started practicing reading, recording ourselves reading this series. At first, it was supposed to be just like kind of podcast that we were supposed to like just read for the Discord server. But then I suggested that we posted this on YouTube, and pretty much everyone was on board with this. So I volunteered to record and put it on my main YouTube channel, the one that's just called Neo Rashi. But as the project grew bigger, we started to be more organized, especially thanks to the one I would call the leader of the reading team. She was amazing at organizing stuff. I'm super grateful to her, and thanks to her good idea. Thanks to her good idea that, admittedly, at first I was reluctant to. Uh, we were now two people recording and streaming this, and we changed the location of the stream slash recording from my YouTube channel, which still has, I think, the first two volumes in full, to a like separate YouTube channel that I'm actually going to put in the description below. So now that channel hasn't uploaded anything in the past 2 years now, but this is where we recorded. So how it worked, we practiced a couple times, 2 or 3 times, and then every 2 weeks we would stream or record ourselves reading the book. There would be each one of us was playing a character, and then we would take turn reading the narration. It was not always easy, but it was fun. Sometimes it got a little stressful. I'm guessing for our leader it was even more stressful, so that's an extra reason why I'm so grateful to her. But I'd say most of the time, I had a lot of fun. It was fun, like reading this series, and just like talking to people I would never would have talked to if it wasn't for this project. So yeah, again, I'm gonna put the description, put the link to the YouTube channel into the description. Now, there's some other stuff to say about this series. It is, again, the series that got me to reading light novel, but it was also the series that almost made me stop reading light novel. But this is mostly my fault, because I'm not a big reader. Even manga sometimes takes me 2 days to read one because I read really slow. And light novel, usually I never took less than 2 days to read even a small light novel like this one. This one took me 2 and 3 days, I think. Volume 2 was a bit shorter. Volume 3 took me a long time because it was actually at that time the worst volume in my opinion. And again, to this day, it's still in my like flop 5 maybe out of the 11 that I've read. So yeah, thanks to that, I almost stopped reading light novel. I stopped reading light novel for several months after I read 4 volumes in 2 days. Yeah, I read volume 5, 6, 7, and 8 in like super rapid succession. In a single weekend, I read 4 volumes, and this is what burnt me. Oh, and on top of that, I also read like 2 volumes of the Blooming to You light novel. So basically, within a week, I've read like 6 light novel volumes, which is way more than I usually read in like a month. So thanks to Adachi and Shimamura, I got burned from reading light novel. But after that, after the whole reading theme, I really don't have much happening, because I've read up to volume 11. I haven't read the short stories yet, and the only chapters of the recently released 99.9 uh, book that I read are the one that originally came with the Blu-ray in Japan, which we did read as part of the reading team. And the reason for that is um, I'm gonna anger some people, but it's not that great. It had a very strong start. Volume 3 was meh, but still somewhat enjoyable. Volume 4 was alright. Volume 5 through 8 were amazing, but for several reasons, Volume 9 onward are just. Well, Volume 10 is alright, but Volume 9 and 11 are really not that great, and that's why I'm still hesitating from reading short stories and the 99.9 chapters that I have read to read. I'm still gonna buy Volume 12 when it's coming out. I'm still gonna buy Short Stories 2 when it's going to come out. But will I enjoy reading it as much as I did the first 8 volumes? I'm guessing not. Uh, the reason for that is I'm not gonna spoil the actual content of the books because for people who enjoy the stories, I'm really glad that you are enjoying the stories. But yeah, the way the story is written is just getting worse every volume. Volume 10 had some good chapters which is why I'm still giving it a pass. But yeah, Volume 9 and 11 are really not that great, and I'm kind of burnt out on the series. This is the only. This is not the only light novel that I have more than 10 volumes of. There's the like been killing slime for 300 years that I have 14 or 15 volumes so far. But it is the only one that I've read more than 10 volumes. That actually I've read more than 10 volumes, and yeah, it's really not the best Yuri, which is a shame because again, it started out strong, and now it's starting to turn into a review. But yeah, but my rapidly declining appreciation of the series is kind of part of my story with this series, so that's why it is still worth reading, even if I didn't like the last 3 main volumes. It is still worth reading. Overall, I really like the 2 main characters, especially Adachi. I find her a little more relatable than Shimamura, though Shimamura definitely is relatable for a lot of people. Both are in a way. Um, but yeah, the anime was pretty good as well. The manga surprisingly made me like I've read the first 4 volumes so far of the manga, and volume 3 of the manga actually made me appreciate the story of volume 3 of the light novel a lot more. So there's that. I'm actually enjoying the manga quite a lot. Surprisingly, because usually light novels are much better than their manga counterpart, but there are certainly volume 1. I think volume 1 light novel was much better. Volume 2 same, but volume 3 really makes me appreciate the story a little bit more uh, compared to the original volume 3 of the light novel. So yeah, uh, is there anything else I can say about this series? Not really, because even when I went to Japan, I didn't get any merch for that series. I did try to look for some. I wanted to get something Adachi related. Well, either Adachi related or uh, like something that featured both Adachi and Shimamura, but I couldn't find anything. Even with my friend, uh, who is a lot more knowledgeable about like merch store in Akihabara. Even with help, I couldn't find anything that was worthwhile. So my story really ends with my somewhat recent read of Volume 3 of the manga, which was about a month ago, I think, a month and a half. I think it was in early May or something like that. So maybe almost 2 months at this point. And there is not much more to say about this. So yeah, I cannot say that I'm enjoying this as much as I hope I would have, but I still have a lot of good experience, a lot of good memories with this series, and I'm still 100% grateful that it has got me into light novel. I would have never started a light novel if I hadn't started this. So yeah, I'm still definitely happy I got to know about this series, even though I don't like it as much as I used to. So, yeah, again, not much more I can say. So, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow for my last manga review of Rainman. It's not going to be an Adachi and Shimamura book again, so I'm not going to repeat myself too much, but it's definitely going to be another Yuri. Anyway, see you next time.